Oh, there it is. All right. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone for now, just to kind of keep some background noise. Did we lose Karen? She'll probably come back. Okay.
I'm here. It just took my video out. Let me see if I can.
There you go. Okay. Yay. Now everybody's back. All right, cool. All right, I'll go ahead and welcome to another week, another Wednesday where we get to talk about our favorite thing, oils, one of our favorite things, oils. Today we're going to be talking about attention and focus, and we'll be sharing the ways we use the oils to help support our ability to focus better, help ourselves and our children especially. With attention, homework, with school, with just in general. So as always, let's go ahead and pull out any oils you have and take a few deep breaths just to kind of bring ourselves into this space and this time, and any chance we get to use the oils. Karen's using peace, nice. I'm gonna use eucalyptus today. I don't know, just sometimes we're in the mood for certain oils. So go ahead and either roll on or put a drop or two in your hands and your palms, and let's all take a deep inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, send that breath away. Wow, this is so fantastic. Let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. One more for good measure. 3 is my favorite number. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it go. Wow, that is really great. If you guys have eucalyptus, I don't do that enough, and I need to do that. That really opened me up. Feeling a little tired today. I've been struggling with my sleep again. So that really is great. It's rejuvenating and it's exhilarating, and when we do that, when we take those breaths with our oils, the way our olfactory system is set up, it's a direct connection to the brain, so it has immediate positive effects. So we always like to do that. Like, let's go ahead and jump in and start talking about these precious oils. All right, so focus and attention. Raise your hand if you have focus or attention issues, or if your children do. Yeah, lots of hands. We all do, right? And depending on what's going on in our lives, it's harder. It's harder to focus. And I know for my children, we have to apply certain oils every single day. And the blend that we use in my family is the Peaceful Child. We call it Peaceful Heart because it's not just for children. There's 6 oils in there: frankincense, ylang ylang, lavender, clary sage, marjoram, vetiver, right? Is that all 6? That work amazingly together to help with that focus, with the attention, as well as a lot of other stuff, because as we know, these oils are so versatile. But for tonight's purposes, we're going to be talking just about attention and focus. So when I thought about it, I'm like, what am I going to talk? What do I use when I am feeling like I need a little bit more? If I got to study, if I want to read something and I really wanted to like absorb or really want to get in, I whip out my peppermint and my wild orange. This 2 together, all I do is 1 drop of peppermint in the palms. My wild orange is on its way. I just have this little sample bottle for now because I literally use this wild orange a lot. I put it in my water. I put it on my toothpaste every day as a natural whitener. I love it. I love the wild orange. So peppermint, wild orange, and just like we did those 3 deep inhales and exhales, and it really instantaneously wakes you up, gives you energy, and then I like to rub it all over, and it's fantastic. Wow, I use that a lot during our yoga teacher training, right? Renee, we were giving this to everybody because it was hard. We were taking in a lot of emotional stuff, so we were doing the peppermint, wild orange a lot. And then we had mentioned the kids line before, and these 2 are actually mentioned in Leanne's book that she just got. This is the Steady and the Thinker. And these are amazing, and you just shake it and you can roll on the wrist right here before your kids go to school. They can keep them in their backpacks. I know my teachers, my kids' teachers, I just told them we use aromatherapy for helping with focus, and they notice. I have documented proof from where my third grade, when my middle son was in third grade, he was having really, really hard, like inability to focus at school, like really struggling. And so I started doing the oils with him twice a day. And the next report card, it was like complete change. He's focused. He's so much better. Like, and we saw it too because we see him every day. But he's the one I noticed the most when we say, you know, like we have trouble with focus or attention. My middle child is definitely, we've never been tested for anything, but he would probably fall in the category. However, I feel so confident having these wonderful natural products that we're able to take care of all of that so that he can do his best. He's an excellent student. These oils really help a lot. So that's my spiel on what I use for my family for focus and attention. And I am going to turn it over. Did we decide who's going up next? Lee Aaron. Okay, I'm going to unmute you and you can take it away.
Unmute me. There we go. Hi. I'm going to talk about Intune. I talked about Intune a couple of weeks ago with the anxiety stress, but I would need Intune prior to meetings. So Intune was my roll-on, and this is a brand new bottle. My go-to when I was managing and I was posting insurance money, and I would roll this onto the back of my neck. I would turn on my rap music and I would work. And if people came in and knew it smelled like oils and there was rap music on, that I was busy and not to bother me. So Intune, it was a miracle then. Let me bring out my handy dandy book here. Intune has a blend of West Indian sandalwood, patchouli, did I say that right? Frankincense?
Julie.
Patchouli.
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 Yeah.
Sounds Italian. I got patchouli. Lime, yang yang, I said that wrong too. Hawaiian sandalwood, Roman chamomile, and I liked to roll it on the back of my neck. Now that I have my chakra bracelet, I like to use my chakra bracelet a lot, mainly because I can smell it again later. I don't know what's on it right now. I smell something. It's orange. That's what I just put on, was orange. When I worked at the before and after school program, I would have kids that I knew had attention problems. And when we had to do homework in the afternoons, I would roll actually my adaptive on, and they would come over and they would say, "Mrs. Jett, can I please smell your bracelet so I can do my homework?" And they would smell my bracelet, and then they'd go back over and do their homework. So if the little kids love it, then, you know, it's a winner chicken dinner. But the Intune, it can be a little bit strong, but if you raise it on the feet, if you roll it on the feet around the brain area, it helps with those focus issues. It helps clarify your mind, helps with the concentration and focusing. Because a lot of times when I had to use this and posting my insurance money, it was like 9 o'clock at night or late in the afternoon, and I was exhausted, and I was like, I got 4 hours of work to do. It's the end of the month. I've got to balance out. Who likes to do their checkbook? It's kind of like that, but you're balancing insurance money. millions of dollars. So this was my key then. Again, we all talk about the adaptive. This is kind of my go-to now. I actually love the lavender also. And my little friend Cooper, I went to a friend's house the other day and we did a smelling test, and he is in love with the wild orange. And my friend is absolutely having a wonderful response with the wild orange and Mr. Cooper. So that's mine. I always keep my roll-ons. Sounds like a deodorant. Also a good thing is your LLV. For kids, it's great to do that, your omegas, a bottle of omegas, because having your fish oils and your omegas in your system help your brains and helping that brain health. Alrighty.
Good. Yes, absolutely. That's so important, Leanne. So important. Thank you for that. I loved it. All right. Renee, are you up next?
Yes. Hi, everybody.
Take it away.
I'm going to talk about Peaceful Heart. And this is a blend that Monica mentioned earlier. So this is the blend that after I went to a doctor and realized I had some pretty extensive attention issues, this is the oil that got me through. And it was such a wonderful resource for me to use. And what's in here, I'm going to tell you guys again, it's 17 drops of vetiver, 6 drops of lavender, 6 drops of ylang ylang, 4 drops of frankincense, 3 drops of clary sage, and 2 drops of marjoram. See, I said it wrong too.
Marjoram.
Thank you. So, and I use this on all my children. And for my oldest daughter, what I've been having her do is, because she does not like the smell at all, and she needs it the most. I have her just rub it on the back of her neck, on her spine in the morning, because this is what we use first thing in the morning, all of us. So, and it just evens us out and helps us stay where we need to be. It's a great resource to support us for our emotional health. So, but that's all I have.
Cool. I guess I'm up. Point to me again if my computer goes out. I'm trying to watch the little orange buttons. But I think what's important to know with essential oils is that when we smell something, the molecules that we're smelling triggers an electrical impulse. And then that sends a signal to a part of our brain, to our limbic system, that's responsible for learning, remembering, for our behavior, either conscious or unconscious. And it's responsible for manufacturing enzymes and proteins and hormones that regulate and control our body. So these different oils have different molecular structures, and there's different sizes of molecules. And with essential oils, they can meet up with a cell, and let's say the cell hasn't had enough water, and it's a dry, crusty cell that isn't able to function the way it needs to function. The essential oil can penetrate that cell wall, and it can revive that cell to do better, to be able to do its job. And so when we use essential oils, all of the essential oils mentioned here tonight have different molecular structures, and each one has a very unique chemical profile. So what I kind of want to share here is in 2016, a research study was done that showed rosemary oil diffused into the air. Students scored 5 to 7% higher on memory tests. So rosemary is a really good oil for memory. Lavender, we often think about it for relaxation, but it can improve concentration. And so that's why it's in a lot of the Peaceful Child research, specifically focused on pointing to the fact that it lessened stimulation and decreased stress, which allowed the students to be able to focus on something different. Peppermint, at schools, they let the kids chew peppermint gum and they give them peppermints for their state standards of testing. And again, that's because it helped with alertness. So peppermint and that wild orange is great for alertness. If you have kids who need a milder scent, cypress is really good for concentration. Usually in my classroom, I either have on lemon, lime, or a mix of citrus and peppermint. And I do that because they're pretty typical smells. In case any parents ask me, they're they're pressed from the peel of the fruit. So, a parent who says something to me, I can say, look, it's a leaf or it's a peel. And there's nothing here that's going to, create allergies in the classroom or headaches or, things profile. It just helps the parents, I think, to put there. So other oils that you've heard about, ylang ylang. And this gets credit for its effectiveness as a concentration aid. So ylang ylang is right up there. Frankincense, this is the one that's really high in sesquiterpenes, and it's able to pass through the blood-brain barrier. And you need a very, very small essential oil that has its constituents are small in molecular size in order to pass the blood-brain barrier. And so this is esteemed for memory boosting abilities, as well as they're doing a lot of studies on neurological, mental health. A lot of people say that the brain is fully formed. And if you have like a TBI, it's very hard to repair the brain. And they're finding that that isn't true at all, that oils high in sesquiterpenes are able to make a big difference. Vetiver for concentration, for sure. It's my favorite. I'm getting waved at my neighbors who are going to come borrow our pool. So it's good for judgment, evaluation, reasoning, and problem solving. And these are all in studies that you can find on PubMed or through NIH. And I'm happy to list, the website where I'm pulling these off of today. So those are the choices. I just wanted you to know that with hearing all of these amazing oils and what they do, a little bit of the science behind it, because it's very encouraging. It's very encouraging, and my students ask for it. My kids ask for it. If Joe comes home from school overwhelmed, I'll put lime in the diffuser, and he's able to pop back, which is it's great. So it's a fantastic tool, and I can't imagine being without it. Any questions for me?
I always love hearing the science, Karen. It just makes me happy.
Me too. I love listening to you, Karen.
I know the science, because it's like you said, it is very encouraging, and that's what really makes you go wow. Because if all you have to do is spend a little time, these oils have been researched extensively, and it's all positive, so every little bit helps. And we are walking living proof. I feel the same way. My kids and I, we know how beneficial these oils are to us. And kids, they feel it quicker. I think they're much more in tune with themselves and their bodies than we are as adults. and they can feel the effects. They can tell when they need something. Like even my 5-year-old daughter, well, she's 6 now, will come up and be like, I need an oil for this. So like she knows an oil is going to help. Whatever issue it is, she knows that it's going to help. So thank you for that, Karen. And that's a good point too. Try different things. We're all different. Just, chemically, we vary vastly. And so it's important to have lots of options, because if you try one thing, and it's not for you, or if it didn't work, try something else. There's so many options.
My sister says, and probably the best advice she's always given me, is just to let your nose decide. Don't get caught up in, reading all of the research. But if if you can get to someone's house who has essential oils, and you can just let your nose do the work.
Yeah.
And, everyone is different.
That's
Don't
the first
fall
one.
back necessarily on what research, you can read lots of good stuff, but then let your nose decide what you're going to do and how you're going to handle it. And it won't
happen with Renee, right, Renee?
That's exactly how I found
100%. And I was like this going, like I couldn't believe it. I was blown away, because we didn't see until afterwards. So last week we talked about how she found, the oils and everything, like how, well, we always talk about that, but it was amazing to see.
It was, because we didn't know that Vetiver was the number one for
number
focus,
one, right?
And the research was there. It was just, that's what I picked, because you instinctually know what you need, and we all need different things. And that's why it's so good to know the different oils to use for the attention and the focus too. So I appreciate that, because I didn't know that about cypress. So, and that's a lighter scent, where Vetiver is a lot heavier and smokier. So knowing, for someone that I always consider someone that's more sensitive to the smells, because I have that in my family. So that's really good to know. So thank you, Karen.
Yep. And hide it on your toes and put on some socks.
Yeah.
I can't say I liked Vetiver or Peaceful Child coming into this, but now, like when I put on the piece that I just put on, and the first ingredient is Vetiver, I adore it. And so my nose maybe has learned that the rest of my body gets a good feeling. I read somewhere that if you smell oregano is usually very acrid, hot, harsh, and people who smell it and it smells sweet and wonderful, you most likely have a bacterial infection. And so there's different times in your life when you smell something, your body is saying, please, hey, I need this. I don't like patchouli. I think of it as hippie stink.
I love it.
And sometimes, like when I was having some panic attacks at one period, it smelled really good. And so you just have to kind of listen to it.
Grounding oil. It's a grounding oil.
I felt the same about Vetiver, Karen. Actually, you introduced me to Vetiver and said the same. You're like, it's woodsy. It's definitely, but when you feel the effects of Vetiver, like we have it every day, and now it is like a comfort. It's like a hug, right? Vetiver is like this really sweet hug. But you guys, anyone have questions? I can unmute you. We can chat some more. We can, whatever you guys.
Tell you that I did look up the Intune, and the Patachouи has that sesqua.
Yeah, sesqua. I think only Karen knows how to say that word right.
That's my favorite word. Oh my gosh.
Say it again, Karen. Yeah, one more time. Let's hear it.
Means.
Oh, speaking my language. I love it. What were you saying, Leanne?
No,
just that you looked it up and then
I looked it up, and I mean, and it has the patachouи in it, and it's very hippie and strong smelling. So I mean,
I don't like the
I must smell like a hippie all the time then, because I'm always wearing pedicure
Yeah.
patchouli.
We loaded up.
Always.
To me, like there are people growing up in Ithaca, you know what I mean, Jill? Like when you walk into Shalimar and some of those people, it made you back up 4 steps.
Well,
And maybe it's because they use
It
it
obviously
in
was to do Tara.
yeah.
I mean, it's by hippie gypsies using it, and that's
Yeah.
maybe better than showering people who use it.
Also, we have a lot. So we got stuff in our hair. We got stuff all our face. Like we are locked and loaded. People smell us and they're like, wait, stay there for a little bit longer. What is that? And then me and Renee, we stay hugging each other and smelling each other's necks. And, you know, we're weird.
You're not supposed to tell people that.
Oh, really? Oh.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I know that's weird. Like we smell each other's necks.
We sniff each other's necks.
Well, because it's so different. I'm like, you smell so good, but so different than I do.
You smell amazing.
It's just so good. You mix all of our stuff in, right? Our chemical constituencies of ourselves. What I love too is it all smells different on everybody, right?
mm-hmm.
I tried today. I wanted to tell you guys. I saw it somewhere. What was it, Renee? It was Whisper
and pettigrain. Yeah. It was nice, which is surprising because I don't like pettigrain. It's very pungent.
Yeah.
But it smelled nice mixed with Whisper. But honestly, I think Whisper makes everything smell good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whisper is just so lovely.
Aaron, tell the story. Remember, so I had seen
Pettigreen's
a blend,
terrible.
right? What is that? What do you got right there, Karen?
Pettigreen.
Yeah, it's awful. Put it with Whisper though. It's great. It's weird.
Try it with Whisper.
But I wanted to make a blend. I had it in my mind. I wanted frankincense and Whisper, and because I am who I am, I'm like, I want it now. Like, I can't even wait. So I'm like, who has Whisper? And Leanne's like, I got it. I'm like, cool. So I go and get it, and those kids, remember when they flopped? Like I went to her place, and all those kids, they were like, let me smell. They were like,
everybody wanted it rolled on their wrist, on the back of their neck.
So that blend, Whisper and frankincense, apparently is supposed to be the most spiritual, like connect you to source. That's why I wanted it, because I really.
That's what I gave you, Galia. That's the little one I gave you. The first one, it's the frankincense and the Whisper. Oh,
yeah.
There you go. Now you're unmuted.
You rub it on all the time.
It's supposed to bring you, it's supposed to also help you get closer to source or God or whatever that is for you. It's pretty cool.
Hi, Marissa.
We love all our oils.
Yay.
Good.
Thank you.
They're so good.
Mm.
Yeah, so ladies, anything else? Focus, attention.
What was the name of the oil with the patchouli in it that I think it was Leerin? Yeah.
In tune.
In tune. Okay, I don't have that one.
That is the focus blend, right, Leanne? It says on there?
Ma'am.
Focus blend? Okay.
Okay.
And then they made Thinker for kids, and I'm not quite sure if the recipe is different or just more.
Oh, let's see. Let's see what's in here. Oh, it's hard to see this yellow writing, but there is fractionated coconut oil, vetiver, peppermint, clementine, rosemary. All the ones you mentioned.
Okay. All right.
And it's
So
nice.
a different blend for a different.
Nice. It's very light. So this is it's diluted. Do you like the smell? Smell. Look, there's a kid right here.
Does
What do
it
you
smell
think?
orangey? Is it
Yay
orangey?
or nay? No, not so much for you, huh?
Well, that's the one that I ended up using for my daughter because she hated Peaceful Heart.
Yeah.
So
That's nice.
and then we got Thinker, and she didn't mind it at all, and it was just as special for her.
Yeah.
Yep.
Diluting it down does not take away the effectiveness. It actually can help with the absorption. So that is a very good point.
For my daughter, I
Very
have
light.
it keep it in her pocket, and she puts it on her forearms and then puts it back in her pocket. And we've just kind of talked about appropriate times to do it at the water fountain or in the bathroom, and, you know, not sharing it around the classroom. And, you know, we kind of made an
Yeah.
anchor chart of rules, and the teachers have been fine with it.
See, I don't follow the rules, and when I was on the school bus, I put those oils on all those kids. I was like, "Do you want some?" They're like, "Yeah." They love it. I'm like, just tell your parents it's natural. I can't. That's why I can't work in the schools, Karen. I don't follow any of the rules. I'd be in trouble all the time. But yeah, it's nice. It's so light, you know, just a really light fragrance. Because that Peaceful Child, it's definitely got some oomph to it.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah, they say so. Oils that have higher viscosity, the thicker that the oil is, they're called low notes. And they add those to essential oils because it makes the scent last longer. So all oil, you know, all perfumes, all oil, you know, oil blends have a base. What that does is it allows it to just for your olfactory purpose, you know, to get those in. It went off again.
Yeah, but it didn't cut you off. It went off at the perfect time.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to.
So if you're making blends and of things, just think about, you know, using a thicker oil to you know, hold the scent a little bit longer.
And I will say, like, for us too, I think we get used to the scent because I don't really even smell the oils on me. But if I go in public, people are like, "What's that smell?" So even if you can't smell yourself, it's still permeating the air. It's always good though. No one ever says, "Ew, what's that smell?" They always are like, "Oh,
no, I had a boss that didn't like past tense.
I don't really like past tense at all. I really
Either.
don't. But it works.
Past tense has cilantro in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny. How about Purify?
I love
What is
Purify.
It has citronella in it, and I love that. And it takes any, like if you cook fish or something and you run it in your house, I swear the molecules just fall to the ground, you know, and it gets all of that out of there.
I should have done that. I made broccoli and it stunk in my house for 2 days. Renee walked in, she was like, "I should have diffused Purify." It does. It like zaps it, right? It zaps the air, I feel. It's such a
Put in a spray bottle.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
When our house has been on the market, so before each client would come through, I just put a sprayer on Citrus Bliss, and I would put 1 squirt in each.
Oh my goodness, that's sunshine in the bottle.
Yeah, that's what it's open.
Yeah, they're like, "Yes, I want this house." It smells like sunshine. Awesome. All right, ladies, do we have anything else to add? Does anyone have any questions about anything?
I'm just gonna say that my nieces they love these oils.
Good.
I gotta order them some, and they do their little meditation and everything.
Yes.
They love it.
I love that.
That makes me so happy.
It's so good for them.
Yeah.
They go in my kitchen and get my little roll bottles or these things. They all get them, and whenever they start crying or not feeling good, I just roll it and
Roll it on. Tell them to breathe it out, right?
Yeah.
That's what we do too.
Yeah. They love
Those. I love it. Yeah. Those keychains look familiar. We have free keychains going out. We're doing our own stuff. I'm doing my own study. I'm like, I believe in this stuff so much. But I do have a little bit of background. So I used to do studies in college, and I love all this stuff. Like, so I love reading about all of these studies and just applying it now to real life. It's pretty cool because it does help tremendously. I know the four of us can't live without our oils every single day, right? And it's only my relationship with them has even like, I want more. I want all of them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, ladies. I think that's probably it then. If we let's meet again next week though.
Pesky insects.
Oh my gosh, this is the time for it. Yes, we have so many solutions.
Yeah, ants are starting to come out, so I had to pull out the peppermint and spray all the screens.
Cassia works too, FYI.
Oh, nice. Lavender for any bug bites, takes that pain away. We'll give you a little sample, you know, of what's to come. Stay tuned for more. But, all right, ladies, thank you so much for joining us. It's so great to connect with you all, and we're gonna keep it going. So we have a lot to talk about, lots of different topics, and until next week.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you.
Guys, bye.
Bye.